residual energy coming in from the first 2 weeks, but I do feel it will provide us with a holistic story. So let's see what the cards have for you. Okay, so I do have one out. Okay, so a lot of new enthusiasm is returning back into your life. I do have the Ace of Wands here. In this position, this is basically the theme of the reading. It is indicating to me a revival in the way that you feel about yourself, the revival, rejuvenation in self-esteem, happiness, contentment, and also enthusiasm for life and love in general. Let's see what the other cards have to add to it so that we know if it's a direction in terms of work or in terms of romance or family relationships. Okay, so a lot of you guys are planning to take a trip, like travel opportunities are coming through. So what I am getting here is for the past 2 weeks, things have been really, really good for a lot of you. A lot of group association friendships, establishing like a new social environment. And I do feel that in general, there has been a lot of people, you know, coming back into your life, like friends that you haven't seen for a while, and catching up with them and trying to incorporate them into your present situation. And catching up with friends mainly is what I'm getting. There's also a lot of success, I feel, with the sun in the past position, which indicates overall joy, contentment, and a lot of like a very worry-free type of energy associated with it. I do feel that in a family environment, a lot of you are still under, I guess, like under the scrutiny of a very, very strong maternal figure. Okay, this could be a grandmother, an aunt, a guardian that you are dealing with, your own mother even, or even your own maternal instincts. For those of you who are dealing with children, there might be a sense of like, you know, overstepping your boundaries. They might overstep their boundaries with you. And I do feel there is a very strong mother associated with it because we have the Empress as the crowning energy in the reverse position. So this is also like plays in with your tendency to not know when to be detached from people and when to, you know, give advice. Okay, so advice unsolicited is going to create a lot of resentment and stall communication between you and another person. So when they ask for advice, make sure, you know, you give them adequate advice. But when it's not solicited, then just, you know, try to keep your opinions to yourself. I do feel that that's going to be much better coming in through for the rest of this month. A lot of you who might be dealing with like an overbearing mother figure in your life, I do feel the same thing applies. There might be things about your life that you feel, you know, other people don't really have a say, and rightfully, they don't really have a say. They're not you. They don't really have a say as to how and what you should do with your life. And I do feel like for those of you who are dealing with overbearing mother figures or just maternal figures in your life, or even like, you know, an older sister who might have, you know, treated you like a child, or who is very overprotective of you, they might offer their advice unsolicited, and it does irk you a little bit, and it does upset you. So just calmly tell them that, you know, I appreciate the advice, but please don't offer advice when it's not solicited. I've actually had to do this with a few people, and people don't get offended when you do that. I mean, if anything, they're kind of taken back, but they know that they've overstepped their boundaries. So if you find yourself in that situation, just, you know, take a step back and calmly tell people, you know, that I appreciate it, but I didn't ask for your opinion, so, you know, don't tell me how I should live my life. I mean, you know, you don't have to say it like that, but just as long as they are aware that, yes, we didn't ask for your opinion. So, you know, you don't have to voice your opinion, especially when it concerns other people's lives. So if you are under the scrutiny or under the guided direction of somebody and who's trying to control your life, I do feel be as curt and as firm as you can, but at the same time be polite about it, okay? I do feel that is going to get you far for this. I do feel a stuffy energy. It's sort of like you're A lot of you are contemplating a vacation, okay, or you want a vacation because the work situation, the home situation itself is very, very stuffy is what I'm sensing. Whereas your social circle is expanding, you have a lot of good people in your midst who are very emotionally supportive. This could be friends and lovers. However, the work and the home situation is a little bit problematic, and as a result, you might have an inclination to want to escape it all, you know, to daydream and also to move away, like physically sail away, ask for a vacation, or even, you know, plan that next dream vacation just because it's a little bit stuffy where you are, okay? I do feel here, what's in your environment that you're not aware of, once again, is the Eight of Swords. This is somebody in your environment, and they seem a little bit clueless, okay? So they're kind of, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, they are blindfolded, tied up, you know, surrounded by swords, but their legs are free, so they technically can walk away from it. In this deck, it's even more visible that they're not blindfolded, so they know exactly what they're doing. It's just they don't. I would say that whoever it is that you're dealing with, and there has been like conflictual, you know, like interactions between the two of you. I do feel that they know what they're doing. However, this is kind of like their childhood conditioning. You know, they're itching for a fight. They're itching to make other people swarm. They might be somebody of an air element because of all the sword energies. They might be somebody of an air element, like a Gemini, an Aquarius, a Libra, where they like the debate. They like the intellectual rapport, but they tend to beat a dead horse. You know, they tend to like go over discussions, and they tend to just they like to agitate or at least surprise the people that they're interacting with, which can create a very jarring and it's not a very mutually harmonious type of interaction, okay? So this person, I do feel that they are aware of it. They can't help themselves because it is a childhood conditioning. It's sort of like when you're raised in a household, okay, and your parents always undermine you, and you have to like fight your siblings for, you know, attention and for, yeah, just for your parents' attention. Then you grow up, you become very argumentative, you become very defensive, and you just become like overall like very jittery. You don't have a moment's and you might even have like separation anxiety. So this is a person that is, you know, conditioned by their childhood environment and by their upbringing. In spite of themselves, they become very entangled in arguments, and they're very nitpicky, and the way they do things, it's a little bit aggravating. So I do feel a lot of you are going to be leaving very domineering people, and especially, you know, air signs, especially those that you consider friends, people who are in your social circle, who have proven to be, okay, so people in your social circle and people in your family situation that have been proven to be, you know, controlling and also argumentative. So you're just telling yourself, I don't really have time for that. I'd rather, you know, maintain my own emotional health and my peace of mind. So I am going to do me, you know, so I'm sailing on and I'm going to enjoy this sunset by myself rather than allowing these people into my life or to bring me down with them. So I actually really enjoy the way this card is depicted in this deck. It's the Six of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. The swords are still on the boat with the woman and the child who are traveling to a safer or calmer waters, okay? In this deck, the swords are not in the boat. It's not in the, you know, inside or on the boat. So the woman is actually leaving everything behind. So this is a much better energy and a much better depiction. It indicates, you know, leaving the past behind and not carrying that emotional baggage with you. So not only are you walking away physically, you're also walking away emotionally and mentally, and you're cutting ties with the past. It could also indicate traveling as well because of the stuffiness surrounding your home and your work situation, which is inspiring you to plan a next voyage, okay? I do sense as well that there is going to be continuation of the conflict coming in for the next 2 weeks. I do have the Queen of Wands in the reverse position, which indicates to me that a lot of you might, this is quite strange because I do feel that Aries in general are quite aggressive. Aries men, women, just Aries, especially Aries rising, are quite aggressive. But I do feel here that when it comes to family situations, when it comes to people that you have a long history with, a lot of you overlook many, many things, and a lot of you like don't say your piece, and you might let other people walk all over you. So I do feel in this situation here, the advice is I'm sensing here the advice is one of two ways. For those of you who are planning a trip, who are planning like a change of your physical environment, mainly because you want newness and you want a permanent change in your environment, I do feel that what's troubling here is do it for yourself, okay? You're not doing it to spite other people. You're not doing it to show them that like to cause like the drama, which is, I'm moving away. This is your last chance to apologize to me, or this is your last chance to speak to me. So don't taunt other people, okay? And I'm sensing here that for those of you who are planning to move away, who are planning to cut other people off, it would be in your best interest to do it quietly. I do sense like walking away this time without an explanation, without even like a goodbye. It's going to make a stronger statement, and it is going to be the right thing to do. So rather than re-engaging in this conflict and telling people that, oh, I'm going to leave, it's much better for you to get a clean break, and this move is for you. It's not really for them to realize that, oh, they let a good thing go and they should come back and apologize, okay? So approach this in a more like, in a high-minded fashion, which is that, you can't engage in this anymore, so you need to go. And no matter what, you're going to go quietly, because it's not about the fanfare. It's not about, taunting the other people. It's this move is for me, and that's all I care about. So I need to get myself out, okay? So if that's the situation, go quietly, okay? I do feel that there are blockages in your external environment here. We have the Emperor in the external environment. And I do feel that external to you, this is family, friends, and things like that. You are very, very well supported, okay? Friends and family, the ones that are true and dear to you, you are going to get a lot of blessings and a lot of support with them. There's I'm sensing here a lot of you are traveling away, like relocating permanently, like going somewhere else, like going somewhere far away. A lot of you might be planning a long trip. So what I'm getting here is there's blessings from friends and family. There's even festivities. They're taking you out, celebrating one last time, or they're giving you like gifts, or gift certificates, gift cards, so that you can reestablish yourself once you reach your destination, okay? At the same time, you have really, really high hopes and aspirations for this trip. What I am getting here is, this is the card of the world. Everything is opening up for you, and this is in the hopes and fears position, and obviously this is a hopes. You're hoping for expansion. You're hoping for more opportunities. So what I'm getting here is, what I'm sensing mainly is, I'm sensing a very, very permanent relocation. I'm sensing a very, it's almost like a very long trip, okay? However, this card is speaking to me. Mainly, if you look at her, she doesn't have any luggage with her, okay? At the same time, the energy is corroborated by the Empress in the reverse position. This is a self-made woman in the reverse position. She is like she's on very, very shaky ground. So what I'm getting here is, I do feel that a lot of you are not sure about this trip because, there's lack of luggage. A lot of you are like doing this in, I wouldn't say it's for show, but it's sort of like you're at the point in your life where you have really high hopes and aspirations, but you feel as if there are still a lot of lingering attachments holding you back and not preventing you to, not offer not letting you go. There might be a person from your past, especially a fire sign, a fellow fire sign that is coming through, that is wanting to re-engage and reconnect with you, okay? Because we have the Six of Cups, which does indicate a blast from the past. This is somebody that you've once had like great, emotional, physical chemistry with. So the blast from the past is coming back. You are like emotionally, physically, you're trying to move on. But there's a sense of like, what if, there's that sense of trepidation about you, like, am I making the right choice? And I do feel that you are. I do sense that this is going to be a much better move for you. But you have to convince yourself of that, okay? And you have to prepare yourself accordingly. Because I do feel that you're not well equipped yet to enter the new venture, okay? And to enter the new phase in your life. Mainly because there's still a lot of lingering attachments holding you back, okay? So keep that in mind. I guess the best way to do this is to say that, like, physically, emotionally, you're moving on, but mentally, I guess your heart and your head haven't really processed the gravity of this major life decision just yet. At the same time, your mind is still a little bit fearful of the future. Your heart knows it's the right thing to do because I'm looking at this card and I do feel, the heart, it's a heart choice because this is an emotional choice. And because of it, you don't really trust it. Being a fire sign, I do feel a lot of you might not be in tune with your motives and also, like your feelings. So it takes you a long time to process your feelings and to allow your heart and your head to reach the same conclusion. So I do feel intuitively, it's the right choice and your heart is already in it. But your mind is still mired in self-doubt. Like, what if I'm leaving a good thing behind? What if I can't find this other thing in my new location? And like, what if like, am I really doing the right thing at this point in my life? So there's a lot of trepidation and hesitation, but I can assure you that you are doing the right thing. Traveling is always good for us. So you have good cards here. You have support from your external environment. And I do feel no matter what, you are going to land on your feet because Aries are very, very versatile. You are survivors. And I do feel you're going to be just fine, okay? There are things that you can do to get your mind in the right place so that you're not mired in self-doubt. But I do feel that this is one of those learning processes, relocation is never easy. And I do feel that it is a drastic life decision that you're making. This is like the next big phase in your life, and that's why it's a major choice. So once again, because it is an important choice, take some time with it, and also like don't waver, don't oscillate back and forth. Be firm in your resolve, make up your mind, and do things that reaffirm your decisions. So for example, if you made up your mind that you're going to move to, I don't know, so if you're living in, Canada, for example, for those of you who are in Canada watching this, and you're planning to move to like New York City in the USA, set a time frame for yourself. Tell yourself, I am going to physically move to, New York City. Set a time frame for yourself. Like realistically, you probably need a month to get, sell your car, find a new apartment, find a new job, and, find sever the lease that you currently have. So really get yourself mentally prepared, or at least get yourself mentally in the same mind space as your heart, okay? So that you can enter this new phase in your life, or you can follow through with your decision in a way that's not it's not abrupt and it's not disruptive to your heart and head flow. So I am saying this mainly because the outcome, I do have 3 cards, which is, it's a little bit destabilizing. I don't want to worry you, and I don't want this to be like a cause for concern. But I do feel that a lot of you are kind of rushing into this, or a lot of you are like thinking about relocating, mainly because the environment is so stuffy and you don't want to confront it, okay? So that's what I'm sensing. Like, what are your reasons for really wanting this major change in your life? Are there like less drastic, decisions that you can make to bring about the same effect, to bring about newness without a drastic overhaul of your life, okay? I do sense, because you're approaching this situation and you don't have luggage and baggage with you, it might, I don't mean emotional baggage. It's just like if you are moving from one place to the next and you're planning to live there for like the next 5 years, it is good to travel light, but I do feel that you're not prepared, okay? You're not prepared in a practical, in a down-to-earth way. So I feel that the housing situation might not be in order, or it might be like not the best location, or there's something important related to the housing. It's sort of like settling or telling yourself, I'll wing it. When I get there, I'll find a house situation. So you are going to contend, for those of you who are leaving, I do feel that you are going to contend with a very, very temporary housing situation when you get there. And this is something, it's in the reverse position, so it does indicate to me that this is something that you are well aware of. And you are, a fire sign, and as such with your nature, I do feel that a lot of you are going to try to wing it and, figure things out logistically when you get there. However, I do feel an element of time is going to be a little bit wasted, okay? So just be very, very careful when I don't feel any travel delays, but I do sense that logistically it's a little bit difficult to get things in the timing and the order that you want. So a little bit more planning is still going to be required of you. We do have the Seven of Cups in the reverse position, so which indicates, choices dissipating and a lot of clarity regarding, what's left. So I do feel that people might have promised like lodging, they might have promised that they'll come and help you. And you're kind of like depending on that a little bit too much. So you're kind of like heading in and hoping for the best. And I do feel that more than anything, it is a little bit problematic, but I do feel you are going to be able to get through this, okay? So for those of you who are like thinking about that move or walking away from somebody altogether, make up your mind to walk away. Don't doubt yourself and don't walk back to it, okay? For those of you who have dealt with like air signs and fire signs in the past, and the air signs might be a little bit problematic if they are deciding to pop back in and you're thinking about putting your plans on hold for this air sign, I don't feel it is going to work out very well. For those of you who are dealing with a fire sign, a fellow fire sign, depending on, I do feel the fire sign coming around this time around, they are sincere, but once again, it is your life, okay? It is your life. So do things that are good for you, because I do feel at the end of this voyage, it would be best for you to be on your own. I do sense that it would be good for you to just completely live on your own and be on your own for some time, all right? It's going to be much better for your mental health and for your well-being, all right? So Aries, I hope you take care of yourself. Have a safe trip for those of you who are traveling. And before you execute them, okay, it's always, good advice, but I do feel that we have 2 weeks left of this month, okay? So take some time off when you can to really plan things out so you have a concrete game plan, all right? Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.